Okay, so this is match number 2 of the grand finals from the DCS Juneau GOAT format tournament. So I'm playing my second match against Dance Gavin Dance, aka Bass Loli. He won the first one. He's on Chaos Recruiter. I'm on GOAT Control. He's playing a very aggressive list, as I said in my first video. He's main decking 3 Trap Dust Shoot, 0 Tsukuyomi, 2 Azura, 2 Newdoria, 3 Sorcerer. So, especially in game 1 here, I'm going to play around Trap Dust Shoot if I can. So he's going first. He'll start the game with a T-set, but because he doesn't play Tsukuyomi, I'm not afraid of that being like a Faith on turn 1. So I have no reason to attack that monster. Not that I could. So I decide to be a little aggressive here. Normally if you open Morphing Jar, you may not want to play Duo yet. But I'm actually thinking that, I have Mirror Force to protect it, and I can make this look like it's definitely not Morphing Jar. Like, he'll never read Morphing Jar here because I played Duo, set Jar, set Mirror. So that's what I'm banking on. Also banking on the fact that he's got a set Recruiter there. He won't be able to flip this Jar on his turn unless he uses Spell and Trap removal on my Mirror Force, which I don't expect. Yeah, so even if he flips that other monster, yeah, he's just going to walk right into Mirror Force. He thinks that it's important to clear out what he probably thinks is Magician of Faith. But he's just walking into Mirror Force. That's awesome for me. I'm going to kill 2 monsters that were on the board. And both of them are dark. Even better. So Chaos can't drop here. He just ends. He probably thinks it's Faith. Probably means he has Sorcerer and another monster in hand. Because he didn't set another card. So he left himself open to Faith Duo. So I'll just set my entire hand here. Basically going for the max card advantage I can get. And I'm really lucky here to have hit Heavy Storm. That's actually huge. It's debatable whether I should have set this Merchant or not. Had I not set it, I could then tribute for this Air Knight. But I felt I had to be more aggressive because I'm playing an aggro deck. So I have no fear of Heavy Storm. I'm just in a really good spot now. He's not going to get Storm unless he resolves Faith. I have 2 meta, a level 1 monster set, and Scapegoat set. So I really don't think he's going to resolve Faith against me in the near future. And I won't let him resolve Faith without activating, my set cards. So the Faith isn't going to come back to bite me, pretty much no matter what. So it looks like he's either going to go for booking the Jar himself, or he's going to try to play around my book. I don't have a book though. I'm totally happy letting this Jar die. I'll see what happens. If he books, it's a little unfortunate, but I'll live. He doesn't have book there. He just wanted to kill Jar. Main phase 2, he has Nobleman for Magical Merchant. So I'll thin my deck. Don't have a great way to deal with this Sangan yet. I may just end up setting my own Sangan. Or summoning my own Sangan. Oh, but he plays Trap Dust Shoot. Yeah, I had no way to play around that in this situation. So he'll probably return the Sangan or the Suk. Probably Sangan. So he can keep me off my Sinister Serpent. Yeah, I don't have a great way to deal with this Sangan. Especially if he puts mine back. Yeah, he does. It's the right play. But this Sangan is troublesome to me. So I think I'm just going to try to attack it with Tsukuyomi. I'll let him get a search off. Just want it off the board because it's preventing me from resolving Faith on my turn. It's preventing me from feeling good about activating Scapegoat. So I'd rather just get it off the board, let him search for whatever. And it's just another dark. He still can't summon Sorcerer. So that's good. As long as I can, I'll try to keep him off his lights as long as I can. So he searches Faith there. He's thinking that he can resolve Faith to get back Storm, and that will get him back in the game. But that's not going to happen. I know that that's like an out, and I'm playing around that pretty hard. That said, I don't know what better card he could have searched for. If only he could search Azura, but he can't. My field is still locked up. Like, I would have loved to have set Call the Haunted there to play around Dust Shoot, but I had 5 set spells and traps, and none of them were something I'd want to activate. So I'll end phase Goat there to, I'm going to meta. I think this is Faith. Not only do I think it's Faith, but I can't afford it to be Faith and let him flip it because I had the 5 set spells and traps. So I'll play meta. He has 3 book in his deck. Hasn't used one yet, so kind of expect a book here. He does not play book, which is crazy. And it is Faith, so I'll get the Faith. If and when this Thousand Eyes goes face down, that's going to give him access to Sorcerer, because that Faith is his first light monster. So I have the option here to be aggressive and tribute Thousand Eyes for Air Knight, but I'd walk right into a Torrential there. I also don't have Call set yet. If I had set Call already, I'd probably feel better about tributing for Air Knight straight away. Either way, though, he's just gonna respond with Sorcerer to banish the Air Knight. I mean, it's a good trade, but I'm not seeing much point in doing it this turn. I'll wait and set Call, and then hope to get in a situation where I can attack twice with the Air Knight, even if it's destroyed the first time. So I'll just pass after setting Call. still have way more cards than he does. He's on 6. I'm on +3. I have 9 and tokens. So and he's playing an aggro deck. Most of his cards are 1-for-1 trades. He's gonna summon Angel, which I don't agree with. Guess he just wants a light engrave. So in this situation, I definitely have the option to summon Air Knight, try to attack the Angel, but that exchange is just going to give him, 2 lights in the graveyard, and like a potential 3rd that he's going to search off Angel. So I don't love that. I could also, I could play Sook, but I am kind of reading that there's a potential for a Torrential Tribute here. Maybe I should not be reading that because he did just summon Angel. Why would you summon Angel if you have a Torrential down? So maybe the right play is probably to flip Thousand Eyes down and then up with Sook. But I choose to do like a pro play, try to attack the Angel, exchange 1400 damage. When Thousand Eyes attacks monsters that are weaker than it, it destroys whatever is equipped, and then in main phase 2 you can equip another card. So it's usually a plus. What ends up happening is he plays the pro MST to destroy his set Faith that I had equipped, which leaves Thousand Eyes vulnerable to death. So Thousand Eyes dies in that exchange. So I took 1400 damage and Thousand Eyes died. But I was somewhat okay with that because I did want to draw out a potential Dust or MST. So now I have both Call and Prima that he cannot negate with those cards. So that's a pretty big deal. So in main phase 2, I tried to do the second meta. Looks like he was holding a book. So he can book the Thousand Eyes there. Pretty debatable. I probably should have just, right here, tributed Thousand Eyes for a set Air Knight. If I had set Air Knight there, he couldn't hit it with Sorcerer, and then I could flip it the next turn. And he also wouldn't be able to kill it with Angel. So I wish I had set the Air Knight there. Summoning it, I don't think accomplishes anything because he would just banish it. So I have Call Down, so I can call back something this turn. Especially, I can call back something in the end phase. I can call back Jar. This Azura, though, I'm not letting it kill tokens for free. I'll keep the tokens on my field against an aggro deck 10 times out of 10. So I'll hit it with Saku. He's not playing around Mirror because I played it turn 1. This Angel, so this is exactly why I should have Tribute set Air Knight here. Because now I either need to protect Thousand Eyes that I don't really care about, that it's 0 attack, and if I flip it next turn it's still 0 attack. I need to either waste Ring on an Angel or let the Thousand Eyes die, so I just let the Thousand Eyes die. Setting Air Knight there would have been really good, given that I had the protection from Azura. So I let Thousand Eyes die after thinking a while. That's not great. You never want to think too long about not using a trap, because then your opponent knows you have a trap. So here I decided to end phase Call for Morphing Jar. I'm thinking that this guy's got maybe 2 Chaos Monsters in his hand right now, because he's ending without setting anything. Fortunately I draw a Spell or Trap in MST, and now I'm going to play Sook, flip Jar down, flip it up, set MST before that, obviously. Hopefully discarding a bunch of his cards, digging deeper into my deck. Here, the more complicated the game state gets when I'm playing control against aggro, better that is for me. My cards kind of combo to get +1s, and his are basically 1-for-1s and boss monsters that can hurt me, but I can play around them. So that ended up discarding 2 recruiters and a sorcerer. So I was kind of hoping to get 2 sorcerers or at least a BLS, but just got 1. That's okay. I still only discarded 2 to his 3, so the jar itself was a +1. So I made the game more complicated and got a +1. Yeah, imagine like how good of a spot I would be in here if I had Tribute set the Air Knight. Like, I would have been in an amazing position. I would have discarded 1 fewer card and had an Air Knight to poke with. So I have like some power cards set too. I can be aggressive with and bring back Air Knight here with the Prima, but I think I'd rather wait. This ring is also it's live. I set it on the previous, like, several turns ago, really. So it's been live. I'm trying to think here, and I'm like doing some math on another tab about whether I can attack for game, because I can summon BLS. I can't summon Tribe because I used my normal summon on Tsukuyomi. But I have Ring and BLS. But there's no way to actually kill him. I don't think I can do it. Like, the best thing I could think of was like summon BLS. Wait, no. Oh, I could have killed him. I just didn't see this play. So what I should do here is summon BLS, banish Shining Angel with BLS, ring BLS, Prima BLS, and that is 6,000 plus 1,800. Yeah, that would have killed him. He's on 73, so I could have done 78 damage to him. Yeah, so I just didn't see that. That's a misplay for sure. We'll go to the next play while I'm thinking here. What I end up doing is just being like conservative. I didn't see that I had game. So I just bring out the BLS. I'm backed up by a lot of cards here. I'm backed up by Ring, MST, and Dust Tornado. And I'm just going to end in a good spot where he's just got 6 cards and no Heavy Storm. So I don't think he can break this field. It's like no chance. And if he can, even if he can like deal with BLS, how is he going to deal with the Prima next turn? And Ring. So he summons Azura. I guess he's going to try to clear out my tokens. Maybe Jar. He's got 1 creature swapping Grave. I don't know if he's got the other. Maybe. Not the best odds, but it's like, what, 30%, something like that. 25. So he's attacking the tokens. Like, I'm just going to hold Ring here, let him attack tokens. I'll even let him attack Morphing Jar, because I'd rather save Ring for like a game shot. Or like a monster that's really problematic, unlike Azura. I can also save Ring for a potential creature swap. If I play Ring on his Azura, then he has nothing to give me. Swap will fizzle. So he's trying to set jar with book in the battle step. He set his hand before doing that. So yeah, I'm just gonna play ring on Azura there. Jar's gonna go down, but I'm not gonna let it get flipped up. I don't want to give him more cards, especially because he'd be discarding 1, I'd be discarding 4. So yeah, I'm not gonna let that jar get flipped up. I may even banish it on my next turn with BLS. So he flips Duo. Okay, I don't have a good hand anyway. He hits Stride. I'll discard Faith here because it's redundant. Can only set 1 Faith at a time. And Sook actually has some value being able to do other things. So there's a Snatch Steal. I have Dust for that. I don't know what his other card in hand is. Guess it's not Chaos Monster, so it's probably just a monster. Or a Dust Shoot. So it's MST. So I did Enphys MST to seal the match. I just attack with BLS for game. Sorry, not the match, the first game. So 1-0, have to win one of the next 2 to win the tournament. Good start. Here, so last time I feel like I was off my game. Siding in like Dark Mammoths, I kind of regretted it. So I decided not to side at all here. Going second. I think I'll keep like the Azura and the DD Warrior Lady in here. I'm also keeping in other cards that are like questionable, right, in the matchup, like Book. But Book does give me some protection, which I feel like I need against an aggro deck. Unfortunately, I did not have the 3rd Sakuratsu in my side deck. So yeah, I just kept my main deck. So this hand, kind of forced to play Breaker. Don't have much other choice. I'll do the turn 1 Breaker move, hope it works. No other monsters, right? So, and he set Storm. Wow, that was a big play for me. Wow. So I decide to attack the set monster. It's debatable. I mean, I thought there was like a good chance it could be New Doria, and thus I would want to attack with the Breaker. But pretty much any other monster, besides like Sangan or Azura, any other monster that he would commonly set, I don't want to attack a Recruiter. So I don't know. Debatable whether I should have attacked. So it was Angel. He gets DD Warrior Lady. Since he set Storm, I'm gonna set like my entire hand. I may hold 1 or 2 cards just on the off chance that he sets Faith and he can resolve Faith. I don't have an out to Faith at the moment. Chose to hold Book. I probably should have held Dust Tornado and set Scapegoat. Sorry, I chose to hold Scapegoat. All these other cards are like pretty live. Like I can use Saku there. Ring is chainable. Book can catch a Breaker. So he chooses to book his own DD, but I'm gonna like be aggressive here. He's only got light monsters in the grave. He may be in a situation where he's like bricked and can't deal with my Breaker. So I'm gonna end phase Dust here. Maybe I shouldn't have, right? Like, why do I need to clear a path for my Breaker? And he did set like a total bluff, dead Trap Dust Shoot. So that Dust was not good. Kind of wish I didn't waste it there. So I'll poke. He's on like he's got like a 3-turn clock to deal with this Breaker. He still does not have a Dark Monster. And his Trap Dust Shoots are dead. So yeah, I used like all my set cards, and now I'm not even that vulnerable to Storm. I have Goat and Book Set. Both are chainable, but I'm gonna want to book that breaker anyway. I don't want to let it destroy my breaker in battle, so pretty much a no-brainer to book it. Unfortunately, that's his Dark Monster, and there is nothing I can do about it. Maybe I could have played end phase Goat, turn a Goat to attack the defense mode breaker, then meta it to have a 1600 Thousand Eyes, and keep him off a dark. But I just made the more conservative play here to hold Goat and hold meta. And the reason I'm setting meta is now that breaker is gone and Storm is gone, the card I'm playing around is Delinquent Duo. So there's the sorcerer. That breaker was his dark, unfortunately for me. He's probably going to banish breaker, not risk an attack. Even though I've used a bunch of traps, but banishing only does 700, and I'm not on any kind of clock. And banishing keeps me off of a dark for BLS. So there's some merit to that for sure. So he sets a monster next to sorcerer. That might be Faith. I don't know. Or something he top decked. So here I have Goat and meta down. And Azura in hand. I definitely have to end phase Goat, play for the meta play. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to meta. I don't have anything to call back, which sucks. Probably still going to want a set call in my end phase to play around Duo. Thinking about what his face down monster is and whether I'm afraid of it. And I'm not. I'm just going to meta for the sorcerer. And do I want to attack? No, I don't want to attack. It could probably just be a recruiter or something. I can wait, see if I draw Sook, and then flip the Thousand Eyes up and down. Could also be just a dark that'll give him access to another sorcerer. So there's no reason to attack with Thousand Eyes this turn. I think I was lagging or something there. Having trouble summoning a monster. Yeah, so set, call, and turn. In all likelihood, he's just going to have to pass. I have no plays. Oh, he's playing MST on Sorcerer. So that indicates he's got a Sorc or a BLS. Okay, it's a Sorcerer. He needed the Dark to summon Sorcerer and get rid of my Thousand Eyes. That's basically a 1-for-1 trade because he blew MST. But now he has a stronger board than I do for sure, and he's going to pick off tokens with Sorcerer banishing them. And his set monster is Sangan, so I'm really glad that I did not play Thousand Eyes on it. I couldn't have anyway, because he would have banished it with the Sorcerer he had. So here, I am not going to want that Sangan on the field. It's going to pick off tokens. I'm going to attack it with Azura. That'll do 700 damage, which conveniently for me puts him at 23. So one snatch or one meta that steals a sorcerer will put him on lethal damage range. And I set knock before I attacked. And I did that because I was going to set it anyway to play around Duo. And it was kind of tempting him to grab Faith with his search, as opposed to a recruiter or something aggressive. Yeah, so I'm happy he took Faith, because I have the knock to deal with it. He's probably thinking he can get back Storm, unless I top deck something, but I already got the top deck. I already have knock. So he banishes a token. I only have one left. I top Pot of Greed. That's pretty good. I'm gonna draw two. Still, looks like he kept in Trap Dust Shoot. This game. Unlike the first match we played, I think he sided them out. This one he kept them in. Oh yeah, so I played Pot of Greed before activating knock, specifically because I wanted the chance to draw Faith, and I was reading that he set his Faith there. So I hadn't seen a Faith. It's a low chance that I draw Faith, maybe like 10% or something, but that I'm still going to take that chance. So by waiting to play knock until after Pot of Greed, I got to draw Faith off Pot of Greed. And I'm going to set Faith. It's a great play here. I have not set any monsters yet, but, you know, he's only seen 14 or 15 cards now. You don't draw knock every time in your first 15. Maybe like 30 or 40% of the time, but the other 60% you don't. Maybe it's closer to 50-50. But still, it's worth the risk. You know, at the worst, it's a 1-for-1, and I lose some momentum. But the only other option I had was to set Azura, which is obviously just bad here. I would have really had to have read that he had knock to set Azura, and I don't think that's something I do. He should know, if he was paying attention to how many Faiths I banished, that I have a Faith set here. So if he has no other move, he should be attacking with Sorcerer. Just to keep my Faith off the field. And not let me reuse it with Sook. So I don't really have anything I can do here. I'm not going to play MST, so let's see what he does next. Yeah, he thought about it for a while, concluded he had to attack the Faith. So he made the right call. I'm just going to get back Pot of Greed. Unfortunately as well, I can't play around Duo anymore. So if he has Duo, that just sucks. I wish I had like Dust Tornado instead of MST, but I already drew one, because I could then chain Dust to his Duo. Looks like he didn't have Duo, so I'll end phase MST, because I was maybe reading a Dust Shoot there, and it's good value with MST. Alright, so I don't think that set card is Dust Shoot. I don't remember exactly when it was set, actually, but I've been on so few cards for so many turns, it's probably not Dust Shoot, so I can probably play Pot of Greed here. You know, I could summon a monster or set DD Warrior Lady before I play Pot of Greed to play around Dust Shoot like hardcore, but I don't think that's Dust Shoot, so let's try to just make the most optimal play here. Okay, so I'm giving him a chance to play Dust Shoot. I don't have a quick play spell that I want to activate or from hand. That's the only way you can play around Trap Dust Shoot when you have 4 cards in your hand. That's your first action of the turn to be activating a quick play. Okay, so he didn't have it. I set Dust Tornado and DD Warrior Lady, fairly standard. You know, once again, his Heavy Storm is gone, so I'm playing around I'm not playing around Heavy Storm. And now his faiths are gone, so he's not getting heavy back this game. I have a Call of the Haunted play I can make, because I have Sook in hand now. So I have the play I can make Call of the Haunted on Faith in the end phase and get back Faith. That's actually a pretty good play. I'm going to try to do that. Yeah, and he used a Dust and an MST. One card he can have another Dust, theoretically, or a Ring of Destruction to disrupt that play. If he has Torrential, he's going to have to Torrential his own Sorcerer anyway. So he summons Tomato, puts Sork to defense, and attacks my face down TT Warrior Lady, which I was hoping he would attack with Sorcerer. But that's fine as well. That'll do 200 damage to him, get him to 2300. So by setting DD Warrior Lady instead of summoning it, I played around like a potential Ringer Mirror Force, and I snuck in a little extra damage instead of taking a little extra damage myself. So yeah, he ends his turn, and I try to end phase Dust, thinking that could be ring set. It was book, so he books his Sorcerer, and now I'm going for the play where I call the Haunted Magician of Faith. So I'm going to flip it down and up, and get back... Actually, I'm going to get back Book of Moon, not Pot of Greed, since I have Snatch Steal. So I'm just going to try to build a board. So this is why I like to get back Book often with the first Faith flip when I have a Sook lock going, because Book can maintain the lock. It's going to lead to, it's going to be able to protect the Faith. And I have a way of dealing with the Sorcerer on my turn. I'm going to attack it with Sook, flip it up, and play Snatch to grab it. So I'm just building like a super strong board, and I got rid of his board. So now he's in real trouble unless he has... I don't know what he could actually have to out. He doesn't have another Chaos monster ready either. He only has one Dark. So I'll end the turn taking Sorcerer, setting Book, and passing. I'll give him back 1,000 life points because I've got like control over the duel. I don't need to like race him here on life points. It's debatable whether I should have banished the Sorcerer. Like I maybe could have. That would have given me better control on the game, as a matter of fact. What that sacrifices, however, is the potential to attack for game on the following turn. And he has not seen like his own Pot or Graceful. So maybe I want to be a little aggressive, but I actually think I should have banished the Sorcerer with its own effect. So he's going to summon Azura to attack Faith. What I'm like scared of here is like him main phase 2 playing like Creature Swap or Snatch Steal of his own. So I'm like thinking about not playing Book, or like what monster I want to book here to best play around that. So I think I'm going to end up deciding the safest thing to do is to book my Faith. If I book his Azura and then he plays Snatch on Sorcerer, I'm totally screwed. I have like Azura and Sook and face up Faith to a Sorcerer, and that Sorcerer is going to banish my Faith. So that would leave me in a terrible spot. I can't book the Azura, so I have to book Faith. And then I don't have a great option to get back. I can get back Pot. It seems like a safe play. Thought about getting back Book, just to like keep the Sorcerer down. I don't feel good about getting back MST because he might set like a Dust, which he has another one. And if I MST his Dust and he chains to Dust my Snatch, I'm once again in a bad position where all I have is Sook and Azura. So I felt like the safest thing to do is to get back Pot, and even if he has an out to this Sorcerer, which he doesn't. But even if he had an out to this sorcerer, hopefully in my next 3 cards that I'm going to see, I would have drawn an out to that. So that was the final match of the tournament. So I won the tournament. Good games to Loli. And hope you guys enjoy these videos. I'm going to post them on DGZ soon.